Welcome into this week's forum. We're here with Arash Markazi of ESPN LA. I'm Kevin Arnovitz. So, Kobe is back. And to be generous, the results have been mixed. But if Kobe's goal this season isn't a sixth ring, and that's pretty far-fetched, what is it?
That's a good question, Kevin, because I'm not quite sure, because he's not going to get that sixth ring this season. So at this point, you're kind of talking about what's the goal. And I do believe the goal is to prove that he's not the 25th best player in the league, as he's so, as he likes to point out to us. He is still a top 10 player, perhaps in his own mind a top 5 player. He wants to prove that he does deserve 2 more years to become the highest paid player in the game. I think he has a lot to prove, but in terms of winning that championship, it doesn't seem to be a realistic chance for this season.
I don't want him to think about proving individual exploits. The way I like to equate it is he's an aging fastball pitcher, one of the great fastball pitchers who now, maybe he's coming back from Tommy John surgery and he needs to work in that off-speed stuff, kind of learn to pitch after throwing for most of his career. And I think that should really be his goal. And he's doing great at it thus so far. We have seen a real commitment to distribution, passing off. Now he's playing the point, and in some ways you never want to see guys go down. But I wonder if it's not a blessing that Kobe is essentially now the de facto point guard with Steve Blake out. Let's look at the slow start thus far. Numbers haven't been really all that pretty. Points per game, 12.4, obviously far below what he's generally turning in. Field goal percentage also low. Not terribly low, but 40 is lower than he wants it to be. A lot of turnovers, more of a function of probably playing with new guys. And the big one, though, is the 1 and 4. The gangbusters comment was very telling, don't you think?
Yeah.
Just that I think in some ways, to the extent Kobe is competitive, he does want to prove that this team is better with him than without him.
Yeah, and I mean, I think here's the thing. I think the expectations for him are so high for him to come back and be the Kobe Bryant he was as soon as he left. It's physically not possible. He's not going to be that same player. It's going to take him some time. But he's Kobe Bryant. We don't expect a human performance from Kobe. We expect him to come out that first game and have, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. It's not realistic. But I do think, again, he wants to prove that he's a team guy and that this team can make a push for at least the playoffs.
Yeah, the thing about recovery from an injury like this is it doesn't stop the second the guy takes the floor. I mean, generally speaking, when a guy comes back from a serious injury, he's going back the very moment he crosses from probably can't play to can play.
Yeah.
And he's got 2 more years. He signed that extension. Those are going to be glorious years where there's going to be a marquee above Staples Center, only 80 performances left. This town is going to be bathed in a golden hue, and I just feel like don't get yourself re-hurt. Don't focus too much on this lost season. It is a lost season in a very competitive Western Conference. As you said, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So why not start really prepping for those next 2 final seasons, the curtain call, when the town will be re-energized. They can probably get a few more free agents, get some personnel on the roster that truly complement him. So I'm a take it slow guy on this question.
I'm trying to wrap my mind around the idea of him not competing for that 6th championship, because that has to be the one and only goal. And with the contract that he signed and the players that they can sign, I don't see that happening. And that, to me, is a little depressing because, again, that's the goal. I mean, his goal isn't to chase Kareem because he's not going to catch Kareem, I don't think. So it has to be that 6th title. And it's not going to happen this year. And I don't really see what they can do within the next 2 years to make that happen.
I'm still of the belief that even without titles in the next 2 seasons, it can be a very beautiful farewell tour, a composite of everything he's been about in the past 2 decades. For Arash Markazi, I'm Kevin Arnovitz. Thanks for joining us on the forum.